why do we go to the gym? Why do we bother with the diets? We want to look great, sure, but we also visualize ourselves. We see ourselves as having great posture, great flexibility, being strong. The reason that so many of us are falling short of these goals, really the only reason, is because there are fundamental misunderstandings of how the body actually works. You'll be really, really surprised to find out what posture really is, what balance is really made of, what flexibility is really made of. My name is Adam Pook, and I'm going to show you 5 exercise secrets that you can incorporate into your life every day that's going to get you to be the stronger, safer, more flexible person that you want to be, and you're going to look great. The first secret is with balance. Balance is not gained by going from the brain to the foot. Balance is developed by going from the foot up to the brain. So let me explain. If I want to improve your balance, I could simply ask you, could you stand on one foot? I'm asking your brain to find your foot. It's really not going to work very well. If, however, I ask your foot to find your brain, it's a whole different story. The way we teach balance at Ranks Academy in our Balance Rescue program is we use deep tissue work with a massage tool, everybody has, and I simply press the massage tool into my calf. What's happening now is I can feel the calf, and my brain, importantly, has a memory of where this calf is in space. Consequently, as soon as I stand up, I balance again. The brain now has a fresh memory of where one of the balance makers is. Now the body is loaded with these balance makers. We have the quadricep, we have the tush, even the chest and the rotator cuff of the shoulder. When we learn to do deep tissue work to directly contact each of those points in the body, the balance is going to skyrocket. The second secret is flexibility. And the trick to flexibility is understanding that there are 2 flexibilities for the human body. See, when I'm touching my toes right now, I'm actually not stretching my muscles. I'm stretching something else called connective tissue. It's also known as the fascia. So the way to get flexibility in a human body is to stretch both the fascia and the muscles. So if I want to become flexible, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch my muscles. Now muscles are only stretched in very, very tiny points, half the size of a grain of rice. Again, I use the massage tool. And you'll learn these techniques at Posture Rescue, at Flexibility Rescue, at Balance Rescue. I use the massage tool to do a tiny, tiny compression. This might be a little bit sore on some of you. Just to compress a little bit of tissue. A little bit of tissue. As I continue doing that, I'm releasing the muscles point by point by point. After doing that, I then consequently sequence in a more traditional stretch called a posture. And there's rules for the posture, the breathing, what the feet do. Again, we're going to learn it in class. But I'm sequencing deep tissue work with lengthening of tissues. Now I'm doing muscle flexibility sequenced with fascial flexibility. That's how we develop overall body flexibility. Secret number 3 of exercise is the rotator cuff. Not all strength is created equal. The rotator cuff is a large family of muscles that runs from the shoulder blade, it connects the arm, and actually runs through the rib cage into the core. And its job is to hold us up and keep us efficient in gravity. When it weakens, as it does with everybody, when we're driving, when we're typing, is the posture starts to sag forward. Our body and our muscles, consequently, are busy holding up gravity, which means there's less capacity for tennis, for hiking, for skiing. So the lesson, the secret of exercise is every single thing we want to do gets improved if we're doing rotator cuff work. When you come to posture camp, balance camp, at Ranks Academy, we all learn the rotator cuff protocols that we do every day to strategically keep this crossroad of the body particularly strong so that everything gets better. Exercise secret number 4 is supermarket cartwheel hips. We've all had this experience. We're at the supermarket, we're loading up the cart, and one of the wheels is just a little bit gummy, and the entire cart, the whole entirety of it, is so difficult to move. This is what is happening in most of our bodies at the hip joint. The hips actually operate in a very similar way to that supermarket cart wheel. It actually is meant to rotate. It's that rotation quality that we lose. So at Ranks Academy, at Posture Camp, at Balance Camp, we focus on hip strengthening, we focus on hip flexibility, but particularly what we're focusing on is restoring the hip mechanism. How do we combine the flexibility and the strength and the deep tissue work to actually get the rolling quality back to the hip? And that's what restores our balance, restores our posture, and gets us out of pain. Secret number 5 of exercise is connect the core. Here's the secret. The core is not a body part. If you look in the anatomy book, there's no core. We can't have a corectomy. We can't have a core replacement. A core is not a part of the body. It's actually a thing we do with the body. The core is not a thing. It is an action. So what the core actually is a ball of water that we have. It's our intestines and our stomach. And on the top is the diaphragm, and in the back is the hip flexor muscles and the butt muscles, and the front is the abdominals. When they all compress together, they push on that ball of fluid, and they turn the middle of the body into a little liquid cylinder, a big liquid cylinder, a fulcrum. It's what gives the body oversized strength. So the secret of exercise is that in everything you do, turn it into a core exercise. So that when you're lifting with the arms, if your feet are pressing into the floor, you're compressing the middle, it becomes a core exercise. If I am balancing and I focus on pushing my foot into my hand at the same time, I compress the middle, I form a core, that's what makes me stable. Even in flexibility, my feet press into the floor as I'm folding over, stabilizing the middle, allowing the brain to say, sure, we can release some flexibility over here. So secret number 5 is connect the core, make every exercise you do a core exercise. I'm doing something really dangerous right now. I'm sitting at a desk, and despite the ergonomic setup and despite the specialized chair, it doesn't mask the fact that I'm sitting. And it's this prolonged lack of mobility every day that starts to make us sick, that causes all kinds of accumulated little traumas around the body. So despite the setup here, despite the fancy chair, the key to back pain survival at work is actually the specialized mobility we inject into the day when we stand up, the way we place our feet, the way we place our hands to nourish the joints of the body, the hips and shoulders in particular. We can do it very quickly and then get right back at it. So whether you are a one-man shop or a company with thousands of people, understanding back pain survival at work is critical to modern work life. Get to Ranks Academy today.